Hi everyone, this is Wayne Rivers at Performance Construction Advisors, where we build better contractors. This week I want to talk about thinking like a bronze medalist. Interesting, especially in light of the Olympics just passed. Before we go there, boot camp, October 24 and 25 in Raleigh, the final boot camp of 2024. Contact Charlotte for more information and get your folks enrolled ASAP. You've heard me talk about Neil Pasricha before, great writer. He actually had a guest writer, you might call him, Derek Sivers. And Derek talked about thinking like a bronze medalist, or wrote about thinking like a bronze medalist. He started the article with, "What are you beating yourself up about today?" You know, I think we do that, don't we? We think about what we didn't achieve yesterday, or what we didn't achieve last week, or what problems we have in front of us, or what problems other people on the team are creating for me today. We think about our we spend a lot of time thinking about our failures, much more than we do about our successes. Now that may not be a bad thing, because we're always trying to get better as people, as contractors, as business people, etc. But the beating yourself up, not necessarily a good thing. Now what about this is important to you? We're always comparing ourselves to other standards. Somebody's building a much bigger house in your neighborhood, or some contractor just got a really high profile job that you really wanted, or you see somebody, gosh, my friend Saturday showed up with the biggest pickup truck I've ever seen. It was amazing. Oh, it was so great. I was so jealous. But we're always comparing ourselves to other people, which may not be the best thing. Now, in the article, he said, "I've met a lot of famous musicians. The miserable ones were upset that they weren't more famous because they bitterly compare themselves to the superstars. The happiest ones were thrilled just to be able to make a living playing music." Doesn't that make perfect sense? He writes about that they studied the medalists in 2 Olympic Games. The first was the 1992 Barcelona Games. The second was the 2006 Games in Athens. And this is from the Scientific American. They found that just by studying body English and the facial expressions, bronze medalists were much happier than silver medalists. Wait. The person that came in third was happier than the person that came in second? Why is that? Well, it's an example of what he called counterfactual thinking. People compare their success to what might have been. Okay, so the silver medalist is thinking, what might have been? 1/10 of a second, my gosh, in this swim or this race or whatever. 1/10 of a second, and I could have gotten the gold. I'm comparing up in this case. The bronze medalist is comparing in a different way. The bronze medalist is saying, oh my gosh, 1/10 of a second. Woo! 1/10 of a second slower, and I wouldn't be up here. I'd be somewhere in the crowd just watching and applauding. So it's a very different comparison set. Now, is it okay to be dissatisfied with your outcomes? Of course it is, because that's how we improve ourselves. Maybe you went to the gym and you could only do an exercise for 30 minutes and you wanted to go 45. Well, okay, you can be unhappy about that, because that is the spur to getting better, right? I think it's a big spur for successful contractors, because we talk all the time about complacency. Once you start to think that you've got it made, you've got it all figured out, that can lead to what I think is the biggest business killer, and that is complacency. You think that you have no more to learn. You think you've really figured out the construction game. You think you know, and maybe you have for a year or 3 years or 5 or maybe even 10 years. Maybe you have a great 10-year run. But once you become complacent, the competition is slowly but surely going to bypass you. In the short run, have gratitude for what you do have and what you did accomplish. That's the key to bronze medal thinking. When you start thinking about the gold medalist, you start thinking about, it's frustrating because. When you have bronze medalist thinking, you're happy because. Otherwise, I would have been nowhere. This is Wayne Rivers at Performance Construction Advisors. What do you think? Share with us in the comments how you might take advantage of bronze medal thinking.